Story 1. A spoiled house cat. Unlimited naps, constant snacks, and zero responsibilities. Plus, people literally worship you just for existing. Sounds like the dream life to me. Story 2. I would love another go-around with my late husband, but we would start out as teenage sweethearts and then be married for 70 years. We almost got 16. It wasn't nearly enough. Story 3. Easy. I would come back as a cat. Who would not want to live the life of lounging around all day, demanding attention when I feel like it, and napping like it is my full-time job? Story 4. Well, I doubt if I retained memories of this life, I would ever choose to come back. But if I had to, I would definitely be a cat owned by a rich, overcompensating, classy person. Think of a rich, elegant, philanthropic person with an attitude that matches a bossy cat. Story 5. Dude. A rooster. No one messes with a rooster. You just walk around like an absolute unit, mate with chickens, and call out to people in the morning. Sounds blissful. Story 6. Well, I just died, so give me some time to research all the different alien life forms in the universe. There has got to be a longer-lived, super-intelligent life form out there than the stuff we have here. Story 7. Feline. Domestic indoor house cat. I own everything I see. Not much is expected of me, maybe a mouse here and there. And there is a servant bringing me food, water, treats, and cleaning up my mess from a box. I can do whatever I want with impunity, and the servants will let me sleep comfortably on them anyway. Story 8. A periodontist. Seriously, I wish I had the money to have gone to dental school, but if I could redo life, I'd get scholarships and start saving when I got working papers. Story 9. I am coming back as an attractive person. I do not think people understand how beautiful people live an entirely different reality as a result of being physically attractive. Story 10. It seems that almost every answer involves coming back as a human. The original poster opened the possibilities to anything, so I choose to come back as an ent, as described in The Lord of the Rings. A long-living, sentient, and mobile tree. Story 11. A crow. I live in an urban city with crows all around and have observed them for a while, even feeding them peanuts and other treats. Cool animals, very smart, and they look out for each other like family. Story 12. I would come back as a dragon, a symbol of power, wisdom, and freedom. Dragons are majestic, unbound by the limitations of the mundane, and can soar through the skies, commanding respect and awe. It would be incredible to explore the world from above, protect what I value, and live a life of mythical grandeur. Story 13. A farmer in a very remote location. I would know like 3 people and have a dog. I would eat my own food and be one of those people who stay quiet for 30 years. Story 14. Unpopular, but I would wish to live the same life again. I love my life, and I am so thankful for it. To get to live it again would truly be a blessing. I am so lucky. Story 15. Some overpowered anime character who is the founder of the magic that they use today. I would have been reborn and grown to be in the body of a teenager even though I'm only a couple of months old. I attend a magic academy where my parents greet me for the first day. They are overdoing it. A girl beside me drops something, and I pick it up and return it to her. We start talking, and when reaching the entrance to the academy, a guy who thinks he's the strongest student starts talking to me. I ignore him, which makes him angry. He threatens me and wants me to apologize. Of course, I don't, and he decides to shoot a fire spell towards me. With a blow of my mouth, I put out the flame, and he is surprised. I cast magic upon him, which makes him unable to move. The girl and I continue to the academy, and we take the entrance exam. By this point, the bully has already been released from my magic. We both pass the entrance exam and proceed to meet outside. We decide to go home to me for some dinner, and she offers to fly us both there. I tell her I have something faster and tell her to hold my hand. We teleport outside my parents' house and enter the building. My parents see the girl and instantly assume that I have brought a girlfriend. For dinner, we have mushroom gratin. Story 16. Somewhere, I'd be filthy stinking rich, impossibly healthy, extremely intelligent, and undeniably good-looking. I'd like my old memories as well because I don't want to be molded into a stereotype by my environment, as it's going to be a struggle as is. I'm not sure about the location, but I want to be in a position to do the most good. Maybe solve the logistics of world hunger or something like that. I want to leave the second time with the world a much better and kinder place. If possible, I'd want to be male again. As much as I'm curious about female anatomy, I know I don't want to experience periods. Story 17. I would come back as the snooze button on an alarm. I would be the reason everyone is late every day, but no one would hate me for it. In fact, they would worship me. Story 18. Good question. I think I would come back as a human somewhere in Monaco. I think it is important if I had a house there because it is quite expensive. Automatically, I would be kind of rich so I could afford something more. Story 19. I've had a lot of issues that I don't want to re-experience or even think about. However, more than anything, I love my mother, I love my brother, I miss my cat, and I would give anything to spend more time with all of them. Story 20. A dragon. If that's unacceptable as unrealistic, I will take a healthy, stable human that will live to 90 without any medical complications, with a rich family that will love, nurture, and protect me from any threats and make sure all my needs are met. By the way, I want to be a red dragon. Story 21. Being a golden eagle would be pretty cool and you can fly. You're also like the apex predator of the skies. However, if there are downsides to it, I would like to hear about them. I am very open to criticism. Story 22. A middle-class, straight, white English man. So, same as I am now. I want to keep riding that wave, please. If it has to be different, I'd like to be Welsh. Story 23. Can I choose a person again? Me and my husband say we are going to meet in every life if we remember, of course. Imagine if we came back as the opposite sex, or both the same sex and weren't gay, though. So weird that this worries me. Story 24. I want to come back as a younger girl from an ultra-rich and open-minded family living near my previously loved ones, so I can find them and make their lives better. Story 25. A song. I'd only be here when someone wanted me. Maybe a rich human. A tree. I could simply observe everything around me and wouldn't have to deal with any of the pains of life. A frog just eating bugs and looking silly. I think I was accidentally put in a human's body. Anyway, I can't figure life out. Laughter. Story 26. A successful, reclusive writer who writes under a pseudonym so no one knows who I am. I live in a log cabin in the woods with my 2 Dobermans, go for walks outside every day, bake bread, and write novels. Perfect. Story 27. I would do my research while sitting in the afterlife waiting for reassignment. I would find out which is the longest living, happiest sentient species in the universe. Why would anyone want to come back to Earth? I would definitely go someplace without mayonnaise. Story 28. An elite group where I actually can do something about the troubled world. End war, poverty, and release technologies that will advance us. I'd probably fail and get killed trying, but hey, if I died and reincarnated, it's worth a shot. Story 29. Probably someone rich and evil like Donald Trump or Elon Musk, but better looking. I used to play role-playing video games like Fable twice. First playthrough as good and second playthrough as evil. So it would be like my second playthrough. Story 30. The person who is guaranteed to change the entire world for the better forevermore. I don't even care how it happens. Edit. Either that or the person to discover real magic like the things you see in movies but real. Edit 2. Bonus points if it's both. I'm down for that. Sounds like a good, weird time. Story 31. Hear me out, a ghost. Not a weak specter that just observes everything. I'm thinking more like a wraith or an onryo, minus the all-consuming hatred and rage parts, which tend to be less intense the deeper you dig into folklore. Asterisk, you have an impact on the physical world, so if you like reading books, doing art, playing games, or whatever else, you can still do that. Asterisk, conversely, the physical world has little impact on you. You don't have to worry about crime, politics, war, or disease. Outside of maybe destroying your current haunting grounds, they don't really affect you anymore. You will persist through it because you can't kill a ghost. Asterisk, but this immortality is completely in your control. Believe you've peaked at all your crafts, read all the stories you want to read, and visited all the places you want to see? Well, you can just go rest, fade away, or do whatever you want. And if you pick the former, you can always just come back should you change your mind or want to see how the world has changed after a few hundred or thousands of years. Asterisk, if you pick a spirit from folklore that doesn't make ghosts weak, you are basically on God mode. What's that? The mayor wants to destroy the old mansion you've been living in to build a super restaurant? Well, time to, oh look, he had a tragically convenient heart attack and died. Maybe he should have listened to the old lady that warned him of your presence. But oh well, asterisk once more, depending on what kind of ghost you choose to be, you can be as selectively social as you want. Appear to everyone, appear to no one, appear to only people you find common interest with, appear to people just to mess with them, go for it. Story 32. I don't know if I would want to live a snake's life, but I'd love to know how it feels to slither like they do. Maybe a sidewinder or an arboreal snake. Most wild animals just have to forage or hunt all the time, and many of them might get eaten, so it would be rough. But maybe it would be cool. Forget the confidence of a mediocre white man. What about the confidence of a mediocre male grackle? Those guys have to think they're impressive in some simple bird way. Story 33. A dog in a loving family, maybe with multiple other dogs. A small breed, for sure. Just imagine lounging around, being silly and losing your mind over bones, and everyone is just like, ah, oh my gosh, the doggy. Story 34. Pelican. This life experimented with putting things in my mouth. Next time around, I want better equipment. Anything and everything will go in my mouth. Story 35. Oh man, there's a lot that is wrong. I'm barely keeping afloat, and the future looks scary as hell. I can't seem to stop shooting myself in the foot throughout my whole life, but I did get two things right. The second thing was that I'm married to an honest-to-God soulmate who is legitimately the only reason I am worth a damn. She's put a lot of work into me, and though one of my children is waiting on me in heaven, I have a 5-year-old boy and a 6-year-old girl who, while having some of my own frustrating behavioral traits, are still my beautiful son and daughter and are perfect just as they are, and as they will grow into being. I'm not a finished piece of work by a long shot. I have a lot of issues in my head that I am trying to rewire, and I also need to slow down, relax, and give a little more grace. The first thing I got right was my faith in Christ in my early 20s. All the things my wife has done for me and the children have had in my life are from him. All that said, I think I may be living out that lottery right now. I'm grateful for it. Story 36. A neurotypical attractive man with good genes. Excellent health, both physical and mental. Wealthy family. Charismatic. Excellent at communicating. Basically, everything opposite of me just to see what it's like. Story 37. I want to try out life with reasonably good looks. None of the beauty from within or in the eye of the beholder nonsense. A guy that even straight men and lesbian women can see and say, yeah, he is good looking. Doesn't do much for me sexually, but yeah. Have some charm and be at ease around people. Have some sort of self-confidence. Perhaps a tongue that doesn't trip over itself. Perhaps not gain weight simply by walking past the chocolates in the supermarket. Story 38. A border collie or German short-haired pointer on a ranch or farm somewhere that's never cold in a first-world country. Owned by a loving family. Work is play and play is work. Kind of perfect. Story 39. God or another omnipresent, omnipotent individual. It's anything, right? I would want to be the master of the sandbox you call existence and then let things play out, rewarding the occasional do-gooders and smiting the occasional horrible walking, slithering, or whatever. I don't judge war crime. Generally, I would just let creation be, ensuring only that the worst of coincidences don't come to pass, like nudging the occasional planet-ending asteroid out of the way. I love free will for good and bad, but I would likely nudge the entirety of existence slightly more morally aligned to me without even meaning to. Still, at the end of the day, you can't have good times without bad times. If every time was good, it would just be time. Story 40. A rich white girl in the United States. I mean, extremely rich. We're talking billions, at least 11 figures. I'm genderfluid. It would give me a look at the other side. I've always been poor. Being poor was difficult. I want to see it from the other side. I'm asexual. I have no kids to miss. I could use my billions to help people. Enact legitimate change in the world. If all else fails, I could buy the presidency. Story 41. My mum. She passed on a few years ago. I would give her the strength to get through her postpartum struggles, along with giving her happiness and a wholesome, healed life. Story 42. Either a rich, hot fraternity guy who's a total douche and plays every girl he's ever met, or like one of Elon Musk's daughters so I can live the nepotism baby lifestyle. Story 43. I will come back as an intelligent extraterrestrial from a planet with an advanced civilization that already figured out how to solve all their problems. Story 44. Human, I would not want to be anything else. Life is relatively easy in this modern landscape, and I probably have a lot more fun. Hopefully, next time I get a better head start. Story 45. Send me to a future where we become a post-scarcity society, and the pursuit of personal wealth is replaced by the pursuit of knowledge of the universe. Story 46. I'd come back as the son of any powerful person, but I would keep the beliefs and values from the life I am currently living. As the son of a powerful person, I would have the money and resources to travel, explore all cultures, and attend a good college. On top of that, my values and beliefs coming from a more well-known individual would be more likely to be seen and heard. Yet, I would be humble and respectful because my wealthy and powerful parents are not a reason why I am magically above other people. I would basically come back as a wealthy person born to powerful people who uses his financial and societal privileges to make a positive impact without abusing those privileges. Unless I stand up for someone who is being bullied and my parents bribed the principal for me to get away with it, I would keep standing up for the bullied. That's the privilege I would proudly abuse over and over again.